Hi everyone! So this is the video of making this lovely birthday card with really high five by Law Fawn. Before the video started I did do some prep work, but this is the stamp set that I was using. I absolutely love the images on it. So I used some low tack masking tape just to do lines on there. And underneath the bottom line is actually the grass that I've drawn that I'm going to be colouring in with my tri-blends. But I just wanted to cover that over. I'm using the Periwinkle Prism ink pad. So bear with me while I pop it onto my little stamping doodly flip, dauber, whatever you want to call it. This bit is a little bit shaky because even though this is my big desk that I'm on, for some reason every desk I own apparently moves if I decide to do any kind of blending on it, which is ever so slightly annoying. But never mind. So all I'm doing is just blending in these lines just with the periwinkle. I'm not aiming for any kind of effect with these other than to try and get the nice stripes using the tape. Notice I am not colouring in the bottom line because that is where my grass is. And that's just the last of those. I'm going to pop that away, trying not to get 20 gallons of ink stuck under my nails like I did the last time. Then comes the peeling section. Try to do this super carefully because when I was putting all the positioning tape on, I did have a slight incident down the bottom, which I'm going to cover up with the trampoline, but still, it's there, and I know it's there, and it annoyed me ever so slightly. So it's just a case of pulling. If you pull it at an angle, I've worked out it actually is much easier to do. And if you don't, that one I was kind of a little bit brave with, I'm not going to lie. And as you can see, there is the grass that I stamped. I'm leaving the one on the side on because I am colouring in the grass. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't go over that line as well. So this is the lightest alpine green in the tri-blend. You'll see I'm starting with my standard tri-blend here. But I think it took me till about a quarter of the way through just doing all the peaks of the grass, like the actual blades at the top, to realise that colouring all the bottom section in with it would drive me absolutely nuts. So I did make a tactical change once I'd coloured all those in, and decided to use my brush marker, which is the same colour, the same number, but you can put a lot more colour down quickly with the Spectrum Noir Tri-Brand brush marker. Still cannot say that, it still comes out as blush, I do apologise. So this was me trying to work out which colour I was using, and there it is. So as you can see, they were both the same, so that worked out very well for me. And as you can see, that goes down a hell of a lot faster. Just a couple of coats to get a nice full layer on, and then once the full layer's on, it looks nice and neatly blended, because I couldn't have stood it if there was loads and loads of lines in it. It would have really annoyed me. Just a little bit pedantic. A couple of little teeny tiny lines I don't mind, but full-on colour lines would have drove me nuts. Once that was done, that was just popped aside so I could work on the main bits. So the next section was to stamp on my stamping mat. So I decided to do the fox and the bunny and the trampoline. So that is some Nina cardstock that I like to do my stamping on. Magic of pausing, just so you didn't have to sit and watch me do it. I did use my favourite things Extreme Black. Thank you for the recommendation, Hook, Line and Inker. It is amazing. I totally agree with you. I'm a little bit obsessed with it, so I'm going to do lots more stamping while I've got the weekend on. I was just hunting down a piece of paper to go underneath these as well. So for the fox, I decided to use the burnt orange. Tri-blend for that one. I had done some test stamps of these images, and coloured them in a few different colours to work out which ones I liked the best, which is why there was a little bit of a gap. It was me just trying to remember where I'd actually put my little colour chart, if you will, so that I could use that to get the best colours possible for them. Again, it was just a case of, with the fox, picking the darker sections for the darkest colour tri-blend, working towards the lighter section. But I do think that this colour tri-blend is lovely for a fox. it's just a nice shade. I did try colouring it in just a normal orange and that didn't work for me. Red didn't work and brown didn't work. This was the one that worked for me when I was doing all my little tests, and I nearly forgot his other arm. I've got a habit of missing parts of animals at the moment when I'm colouring. I don't know what's going on with my brain. I decided to use the brown grey shade blends even, so the lightest bunch of the brown greys, to do my little bunny rabbit in. I love that bunny. It just looks so happy and cute. It just makes me happy to look at the bunny, I'm not even going to lie. It's absolutely adorable. So that's just needing a little bit of colour across his face. So bear with me while I get my shade on. If you wonder what those gold bits of tape are, it's just a rough guideline as to where I know my camera will be. So if I try and keep what I'm doing in there, then I usually don't go totally off screen so you guys can't see. And then I'm using the pale pink just to do inside the fox's ear and the bunny's little nose. And then the trampoline, I am using the ice grey blend, which is the lighter version, just to do the actual bouncy bit, like the matte part of the trampoline, and also the legs. I don't know what the matte bouncy bit in the trampoline is actually called. I'm going to go with the matte, the taut piece, I don't know. Either way, it's getting coloured that colour. And then I decided to do the actual trampoline in the dark red blend as well. I did debate doing it blue, but then I figured since there was a bit of blue in the background, if I did it in the red it might stand out a little bit more. I also wish I'd done my shading the other way around and had the darker colour at the back. But you know, hindsight's 20/20. But it still looks really nice when it's finished, so I'm not too stressed out about it. Again, you're going to get the magic of pausing while I ran them through my die cutter. The dies cut beautifully on this as well. And then I also had some balloons that I'd coloured in my colouring practice session, which I cut out as well. So then it was time to stick everything down. So I'm using my pinfire glue to stick down the trampoline. That's going in the bottom right, because as I say, there is a teeny tiny bit where the tape pulled up some of the grass ink and it was annoying me, so I just covered that up with the trampoline. I'm going to have the bunny bouncing on the trampoline. Now there are on the stamp set some little lines that I think, well, I know are where it's like the bouncing lines, just so you can get some momentum in your card and some movement. So I'm just placing those down onto the card where I want them to go once the bunny's jumping, and then picking them up with my ink pad. Again, using my favourite things, my ink pad, just for those. So I'm just popping the colour on there and then into place. So then when the bunny's in place, it looks like he's proper jumping, which I just think is so cute, because he just looks like he's having so much fun. And then it was just a case I wanted to get everything else in position, because I did need to put my sentiment on. So I just wanted to work out where that would go roughly in line with all the other balloons and everything. So I decided to use jumping up to say happy birthday. So I wanted jumping up to say up at the top and then happy birthday further down. So I just need to move those out of the way so that I can actually get the sentiment in. But obviously with position them, I know where I can get away with putting my stamp, my sentiment. So I've got jumping up to say at the top, and then I really like the font on this one as well. I think it looks happy. It's a happy font. That's what I'm going to go with, and it's a happy font. So jumping up to say, and then happy birthday down the bottom near where the bunny will be, where the bunny is. And that's everything stuck down. I just used a black fine liner to draw all the ribbons from the balloon. And I used a mixture of foam tapes for the animals and the smallest balloons, and just glue for the bigger balloons. And I am super chuffed with how this card turned out. I'm not going to lie, it's possibly one of my favourites I've done in a while. But I hope you are all okay, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.